Gear Talk Radio. You're in to all things music.
Welcome to Music Gear Talk. Discover the tech that inspires the pros and powers today's music industry.
Yeah, it's Monday, and it's another Music Gear Talk on the mighty Enter Talk Media Network. Connect to all things music here at Enter Talk Media. And as always, we got a great show planned for you. We actually have a recurring visitor. He's already family. He's already been jumped into the to the show, the network, and all that fun stuff. And he comes from a very cool company. It's all about the drummers. It's all about the groove in this particular episode, but making those drummers look really cool, illuminating them. So we have Jeff Sevaldson. Hopefully I pronounced that last name right. Is that correct, Jeff?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Thanks, guys, for having me. Looking forward to chatting.
Awesome. Well, if you don't know, Jeff is the principal, the guy behind DrumLite. And DrumLite is this very cool product that I'm going to go ahead and just jump right into it. You got to go to iwdrumlite.com and check out this. If you're able to look, if you're listening and sneaking it in over at work, and you are tuning in, pretending like you're actually listening to something business wise. But hey, we won't tell on you guys. But check out this website, and as we start to move forward through this interview, you'll be able to see some really cool things here. So Jeff, hey man, we've had you on before. We kind of did a pretty good overview. It's an episode that you all can tune into. Just go to the Music Gear Talk page on entertalkradio.com, and then you can check out the first interview. But let's kind of get a recap. How did you get started in this business?
Sure. Yeah. So I actually got started. Basically, it was a college dorm room in Minnesota here, where DrumLite started. So my co-founder, his name is Joey Nesbitt, and he handles all of our engineering, even still to this day. He and I were roommates in college, both drummers, and literally one day we just kind of decided to put some scrap LEDs that we had around our college house at the time, decided to take some of those and put them in our drums just to kind of bring our stage presence to the next level. And we started gigging out with them, and people here locally in the Twin Cities started asking us, how we did it. And then, would you guys be willing to, make like a lighting kit for my drum set? So it kind of was really grassroots in the beginning. And that's basically how we started, just kind of doing them here locally for people. And then the next thing, we put up a website, and then people from across the U.S. started coming in. And then next thing then it was the world, and then we're at NAMM, and then we're launching different types of products, and here we are today, pretty much.
Perfect. That is awesome. And you've been going a few years strong now, for sure, because we had you on, I think 2 years ago is when we had. So it's been a while. Wow. Time flies, man. Yeah. It does. Yeah, we started DrumLite, and we're coming up on 7 years of DrumLite. So we started DrumLite in April of 2011. So and it's just crazy how fast the time does go. Yeah, I know that Rodney, who used to do the show, shout out to Rodney there. You're out making it happen with concerts and venue management and everything else. So congratulations to that, Rodney. He uses these when he's actually playing, when he's performing with his groups. And so, I think that kind of was the inspiration for him to bring you guys on the show. And, since then you've grown quite a bit. Let's kind of start talking about who are some of the players that have used this, because you guys got a good collection of artists.
Yeah. We've been, lucky to have big artists that are using our gear. And so that's always a really cool thing to see. So we've done work with Travis Barker of Blink-182, Sean Wagaman. Yeah, I'll start off with the big ones. Sean Wagaman from Walk the Moon. We did a kit a couple years ago that was actually auctioned off for Make-A-Wish, and that was the kit that was at the Super Bowl with the Chili Peppers when they played. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. With Bruno Mars, so we did a kit with Chad Smith. We've done some stuff with WUV from POD.
Oh yeah, San Diego boy. We're at over here in San Diego.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I think Rodney knows him too. So he's a really cool dude. And yeah, I mean, the list just keeps growing and growing. Actually, one of our newest artists that's using our stuff, that's actually out on tour right now, that people probably know, is Tino Ortega from Of Mice and Men. He literally we just got him onboarded like at NAMM basically last month. So he's probably our newest artist. So yeah. Thank you. So yeah, so those are kind of the ones, at least off the top of my head here, that we've been able to work with, which is really cool.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm looking at all the different players, and it's amazing, and it totally makes sense, because it doesn't matter whether you have a translucent set or not. It really can, it's all about the aesthetics, and drummers definitely have, the show flavor going on. In fact, it's kind of cool because, talking to a number of people, drummers are probably the most collaborative of all players, where they actually create a nice community, between them. Whereas guitar players, they hate each other. They never want to. Right, Paul? The guitar players hate each other.
Yeah. There's too many of us. There's not enough room. We got to cull off a few thousand here and there.
And then they need to have some space for their
pedal boards. Oh, I drive. When I play out, I drive everyone crazy, because I always gotta have like my whole pedal board dance party set up.
It's like Paul's dance revolution. So yeah, so kind of with that thought, with the drummers community, have you seen a lot of drummers kind of saying, "Hey, look, check this out. You should use this," and sharing the space with you guys?
Yeah, that's exactly what we have experienced here at DrumLite, and exactly what you're saying, Florentino, about the drummers community, is that it really is like word of mouth is so huge, and everybody here that works at DrumLite's a drummer as well, and we just know that from personal experience. When people's like, "Hey, check out this new pedal, or check out this new rack system, or the stand, or these sticks, or whatnot," that has been huge for us in DrumLite. So we always see people that are repping our stuff, and literally I will get emails from people that say, "Hey, I saw your stuff with so-and-so," or "Hey, and got a kit," or "Hey, like I know, so-and-so, and they talked rave reviews about your systems and your company. So, I want to get a kit now." So that's been probably, I think I would probably say the single most important, like, advertising or marketing, that we could ever do, is just basically the word of mouth. And we're lucky that, drummers do talk that way. And it's not so much, competition between drummers. It's just like, "Hey, check out this gear. It's new. It's cool. And I like it." And that's always huge for a company like us.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, you started off small, and, I think most music companies are still small, unless you're Fender or the like. That we don't know if Gibson's small anymore, because they're having some challenges right now. We'll see if I think they'll be fine. I think they'll pull out of it, hopefully, because it's just such an iconic brand. But that's those guitar players, man. The drummer companies keep going and going, man. So it's all good.
Yeah.
So here's my question for you, because you were a drummer. Your partner who started the company with you were drummers, and you're these musicians that just had a great idea. And I think a lot of the gear companies start off that way. What was it like? How was it? When you started getting into it? What did you think at that time? Did you think it was going to be, this is going to be pretty simple, everyone's going to fall in love with it the way I did, and then you go through kind of the ups and downs? Or did you have a good idea of what you were kind of getting yourself into? I would say I think we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into, really. And that's that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. One of Joey's favorite stories or anecdotes that he likes to tell people is when we first started our company, and we started branching out from just locally to, we putting up the website. I literally asked Joey, I said, "Do you think anybody
is going to buy these off our website. So we didn't have super, I shouldn't say that we didn't have like high aspirations for drum. I mean, we wanted to be successful. We wanted to, bring DrumLites to as many people that wanted them as possible, but we had no idea how big, the company would get. And we're not a massive company by any means, but I mean, just like the pick up all the steam that we've gotten over the years and so many people using our gear, we never would have really imagined that, especially, major touring acts and even, mid-level touring acts. We never thought that, these people would be interested in our stuff. So that's been really, really cool to see, and something that we're very, lucky to have experienced.
Yeah, definitely. Now, when we first started with you guys were just a few people. How big is the company now?
So right now it still is just 5 of us total. So
okay.
I think when we started, back when we talked before, we were still the same manpower, but yeah, it's still, we're still a small operation here, but I mean that's an okay thing too. We can move quick with the market and move quick with the drum and musical instrument industry. So, we don't have a lot of like up the chain barriers or anything like that per se. Yeah,
definitely, and it's nice. We're pretty much similar. We only had a couple of people last time. We've got I don't know, at NAMM we had 19 people, but we brought in a number of contractors. So
yeah.
we were shooting all over the place. One of these times we need to make it out to the booth. I'm sorry we didn't get out this year. We get inundated with it's just sensory overload. Kind of talking about that, with that said, how did this NAMM work out for you this year?
It was actually we had a really good show. So last year, we skipped having a booth at NAMM, and we just went out there to have meetings with our dealers and distributors, which was good. But this year we came back with a booth, and the response was really great. And the main reason that we came back with a booth this year as well is we had a new triggered system that we literally just officially launched, I should say, at NAMM. So the drums will light up now when you hit them. So we had that functionality available on our very top of the line controller that you would purchase if you were a major touring act. You could have your drums light up when you hit them, and also your LD could control your lights for you. But we launched pretty much a lower cost version of that. So it just triggers like non-DMX. So having that at NAMM we had a huge response, massive response to that. People just loved it. So that was a great for us, and really kind of got people interested in, the next, where DrumLite's going next, and, what we can expect.
Well, that is very cool. We got about a minute left for this particular segment. Let's tell people about how they can find you guys. Obviously, I gave the first page, the homepage. Tell us about your social media and all that other fun stuff.
Yep. So all of our social media is just at DrumLite. So that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And then, as far as getting our stuff, it's iwdrumlite.com. We're also in retail as well through dealers here in the U.S. and then internationally through Pearl Drums Europe. So those are also other options that people can check out DrumLite as well. Awesome.
Well, hey, and then folks, again, that is iwdrumlite.com. So iwdrumlite.com. Make sure you check that out, and make sure you also stay tuned here. We'll be right back, and we're going to be talking about the industry a bit more, and we're going to be talking about all the things that are kind of going on with the changes, the dynamics. As I mentioned, we're watching an iconic brand kind of return topsy-turvy. This has been Music Gear Talk. My name is Florentino Buenaventura. I've been talking with Jeff of DrumLite. We'll be right back in a few short minutes.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Make this your vinyl night. I'm John J.R. Robinson, and every week, music creation comes alive through stories, experiences, and sounds when vinyl records filled our hearts and minds. My friends and I share our tips and techniques used in creation of iconic tracks for recording artists such as Michael Jackson, Eric Clapton, Quincy Jones, and Steve Winwood, to name a few. Vinyl has emerged hot, and the soul of vinyl defines art and passion which burns deepest at night. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on intertalkradio.com.
Welcome to Music Gear Talk. Discover the tech that inspires the pros and powers today's music industry.
The second segment of Music Gear Talk on this lovely Monday. My name is Florentino Buenaventura, and I am talking on the mighty Intertalk Media Network. Connect to all things music. This segment, we have to pay some bills, right, Paul? We have to give a shout out to our sponsors. I would love to just let everybody know to check out pitbullaudio.com. Pitbull Audio. They are the fastest growing retailer in the music retail space in the store buying area, and they attribute that, and I would say that they are the headed to be the leader because they care about the musicians, they care about the people who are buying the gear, and kind of in that the thought process of everything. Pitbulls never let go, and that's what they look for, is the people who are in this for the long haul, the people who are doing this to continue on making music. And so we give a big shout out to Calvin and Adam and all those guys over there. They just make it happen. And then, of course, for those touring musicians or even the companies that are looking for audio and lighting support, we have SIR-USA.com, or SIR as people commonly call it. They've been providing backline since the 70s for the top tours in the world. So we really appreciate them being on board. And of course, for today, this is DrumLite Takeover of Music Gear Talk with Jeff. And Jeff, we were just kind of chatting about a little bit about the industry and the products. Let's kind of give an overview of the products. What are the levels? I mean, obviously, folks, if you haven't already gathered this, you're going to light up your drums, and which is really cool because drummers take center stage usually, and this industry is definitely about show. It's a show business. So tell us the products that help to provide the show and show business.
Sure. So our products that we have at DrumLite is, we like to say anything from mild to wild. So with the mild end of the DrumLite spectrum being just a standard drum lighting kit where it would come with a remote where you can choose different static colors, as well as a couple different flashing, fading presets built into the system. And then you get kind of more towards the wild side of the spectrum, if you will, and that would include triggers. So those are brand new DrumLite setups that were just launched that I spoke about in the last segment. So your DrumLites will light up when you hit them. And then probably also more on the wild end of the spectrum, if you will, our DMX system. So that would allow your lighting designer, if you have a dedicated lighting designer, or if you have somebody in your band that runs the stage lights for your show, they could literally hook your drum lights and sync them up to the stage lighting either at the club or the arena that you're playing at. So those are kind of our three different options: standard, triggered, and then DMX for drum lights. And all those kits come with the drum light strips for all of your drums, controller, power supply cables, literally everything you need to get your drums lit.
Now, base level, what do they start at price point? What can people expect to light up their drums?
So for our lowest price option would be $75, and that would be a bass drum kit. So that's LEDs, cables, remote controller, everything that you would need to light up just the bass drum. So that would be a non-triggered setup. You'd still get all the colors and flashing, fading presets, but just non-triggered. And that's $75. And then price kind of increases from there. So for a triggered bass drum kit, it's more around the $99 range. And then when you start talking about full sets, I think the cheapest full set that we offer, like a 5-piece full DrumLite kit non-triggered, would be around $250. And then, depending on what kind of bells and whistles you want to add to that, then the price would increase a bit.
Very cool. Very cool. So it's pretty cost effective, folks, especially for drummers. When if you have a DW set, you're used to spending $3,000 to $5,000. So $99 to make your drum to bling your drum out. Hey, you got to take care of your drums that way. So, and honestly, in this business, with the dynamics of, where the music industry is going, where the music retailer industry is going, have you, what do you feel? Do you feel that let's kind of go talk a little less about the industry for sales, but just in general, do you think that this industry is really going to bring back the show? It has in certain genres been still prevalent, but in a lot of the new music that's coming out, they just kind of get up and play. What's your thoughts on that, Jeff?
Yeah, I think from our experience, which has benefited DrumLite, it's really been the music instrument industry. I mean, there's been a huge shift, and even I guess the music industry in general, to live shows and live performance and how important that is. So I know I've read a lot of opinion pieces on this and things like that. And, a lot of people think that the younger generation that's coming up, or at least the younger audiences that come up, have a very small attention span. So you need to do whatever you can to keep them engaged.
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
Which may or may not be true. So I'm 29, so I'm kind of right on the cusp of the younger generation, I guess you could say, or the millennial generation, as everybody likes to call it. But so I think that's been, at least in the music instrument industry, we've seen a lot of focus on live performance, which for DrumLite and kind of us being a flashy business, a way to just add a little extra something to your stage show. That's been huge. And I've seen a lot of bands that I go to. I'm fortunate enough that I can go to a decent amount of shows and see what bands are doing. And every time I go to, a concert, I always feel like I'm seeing something that's a little new, or a band tweaking something one way that I was like, oh, I've never seen that. I never thought of that. And I think that's, really where the industry is just heading, is so much into the importance of, your live show and what can you do to keep your audience engaged.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head for a lot of the up and coming bands. Got to stand out. You're doing, if you're out in the music grind in, say, LA, New York, or what have you, if you're an original band, you're playing with, 3 to 5 other bands, and you need to get up there and stand out. And obviously music is probably the most important part of it. Not probably, it is, at least in my, humble opinion. But you've got to stand out in other ways. And I think this is a very cost-effective way for people to kind of make their mark, because, although as popular as it is, not every drum uses DrumLite yet, although they should. So,
thank you.
I think that is definitely a testament. So I think, it's the necessity is the mother of invention. And I think when you guys kind of thought, well, this would be cool for us to have, and I think they kind of bridged that for you all. Now, kind of taking that, we've got about 2 minutes left here. Maybe double make sure here. Yeah, so we got exactly 2 minutes left. Where do you think this music instrument industry is going? We did have a bigger NAMM this year, and I don't know if you walked around, but it was so much more walking. I don't know if I can handle it next year if they get any bigger. But what do you think? What do you think where this industry is headed to, and especially the drum world of it all?
Yeah, I think I like to stay positive, and I know that there's lots of different accounts and opinions out there where the music industry or music instrument segment specifically is going in. I think it's really all about, I think we're going to see a lot more innovation and a lot more use, not only by, I think small companies have always been really good at this, especially in the MI industry, but I think, even large companies now are starting to pick up on just the trends in technology. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot of, you'll always be able to buy your, top line maple drum set, but I think even just kind of integrating, Personally, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more integration of companies of like a hybrid kit. So not necessarily just all acoustic drums or all electronic, but I think that there might be some people that might be coming out with literally like a setup that you could buy that will have some, pads as well as acoustic drums as like literally like a kit that you could buy. At least that's kind of where I think that marriage of technology and, what I want to say, standard acoustic drums is going to merge at some point.
I definitely agree with that, especially when you got triggers of lights, triggers of drums, and the like, and and the organic shells, and the acrylic and metal shells. I mean, they're all there. So we are down to the last few seconds here. Just want to say thank you, Jeff, and I'm talking to Jeff Sevaldson of DrumLite, and you've been just a great guest again. We'll have you back again. We definitely love you, man. So appreciate it, brother.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I enjoyed it. You guys have an awesome rest of your day.
Thanks.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on InterTalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear from Eclectica Studios. I'm a full-time mixing and recording engineer. I work with Grammy winners, labels, and indie artists, using state-of-the-art digital mixing and restoration tools and the very best in analog gear. Really, though, it's my ability to bring tracks to life and fulfill your vision for your music. This has made me sought after by producers and artists worldwide. So spend your time working on music and not chasing a mix down a rabbit hole. Go to timdolbear.com and check out our free one-song mix offer.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al DiMeola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?